All right, good morning, beautiful people. So today, these two exercises are going to help you eliminate this for good. So without further ado, let's get it done. This is the why section, so if you want to go straight to the exercises, look below in the description. Everything's in chapters. However, every chronic pain we have and every rehab from an injury, we look at four things. We look at the pillars of movement. Either we don't do it enough or we do it wrong. We look at strength. We don't have enough. We have too much, or the imbalance. We look at mobility, as I call it, anything like massage, manual therapy with somebody or an inanimate object, which is what we are doing today, or flexibility, the range of motion that we have or we don't have. Those four categories are what make up your pain. Maybe it's 90% one and a few percent the others. Maybe it's 25% across the board, or maybe it's 100% one. The point is, in my opinion, we have tightness within our body, and we have a neurological tightness, which is what the mobility, the foam roller, the exercises today are going to go over. And then we actually, in my opinion, have a shortness of the muscle. So if you can't do the splits, there's no mobility exercise that's going to open you up in 10 minutes so you can do the splits. For me, I believe that is a true shortness of the hamstrings. Today, these exercises are going to focus on releasing this neurological tightness that pulls us like this. Now, we need to understand that often it's the shortened muscle that's causing the problem, but the trigger points are often on the other side because our tissue is hanging locked long due to this shortness. Now, we can try to stand up as straight as we want all day, but the thing is that the body works like basically thick rubber bands. Like if you're a little bit older enough to remember the Bowflex machine and those really heavy rubber bands that I used to, allow us to do the lat pulls and things like this. Well, if we have these thick rubber bands that are pulling us like this, trying to stand up against it or extend against it is just gonna create a smoke and fire of our muscles. But if we can release that tension, our body naturally wants to be in a state of homeostasis. So if the tension is not there, we will naturally have better posture. Therefore, instead of fighting against it or always working on the trigger points, let's focus on the muscles, the chest and the latissimus, which are major internal rotators. Release those rubber bands, and that allows us to then have that natural posture that we want. So instead of focusing on the victim that's making the loudest noise and the pain, we're going after the thief that's stealing your wallet. The victim screams, everybody looks at the victim, and the thief keeps taking everybody's wallet. So it's not a problem to work on the symptoms because that's where the pain is, but we also want to make sure we solve the root of the problem so the problem goes away, because when there's no problem, there's no pain, and when there's no pain, you're not taking any time watching these videos because you're out having fun and doing your thing. All right, so exercise number one makes it look like you're in Tinder, lying on the beach and getting ready to tell everybody what you love to do. However, this is for your latissimus dorsi, this muscle right here, which is an internal rotator which likes to pull us forward in a hunched over position because we're sitting, typing, driving, eating. Everything we do is in front of ourselves. You see, I'm already doing the exercise. Now, you can hold your head up like this, but you're probably going to start getting some neck pain. So you get two options. One, you can kind of hold it like a sit-up, if you will, and you see I'm just rocking back and forth. I'll explain exactly what I'm doing here in a second. Or two, my favorite thing is called the deadhead position. And I literally just set my head on my shoulder. If this is not possible, you can always switch in between two, and you can also hold it up, that's fine. It's just your neck's gonna start to get tired. So from this position, what I enjoy about the deadhead position is it actually works as a great stretch on your neck. Many times when you do the other side, you will realize that one of them, you almost start getting a headache because your neck doesn't wanna open up. So again, it's just your body telling you where other problems might be, and why I love these exercises is because they focus on things you don't even know that are wrong. So from here, with this deadhead position, I can also use the other hand to support myself. So if it gets a little bit too gnarly or too painful, I can support myself with this one here. And as you see, I'm rolling towards you and away. So I like to say, in this case, east to west. And what I do here is I'm kind of searching for the area that's a bit sensitive. When I find that sensitive area, I stay there, and keeping my hips on the ground, I kind of just move like I'm a bear scratching my back against a tree. I don't like this idea where we pick ourselves up because for most people it's just too painful. And so I'm going to kind of hang out. Once I find that area, I'm going to start moving just like this, and then I'm going to start to move up. I like to move up with the foam roller because then the foam roller starts it takes your fascia and skin with you, right? So it goes in deeper than if I were to just get up and move it. For the camera purpose, I might do a little bit of both just so I don't roll away here. And again, now I'm in a new position and I'm gonna find most likely a new trigger point. And when I get there, I would say it's right here. I'm just gonna always make sure I breathe to kind of get my nervous system working with me, not against me, and just really relax in that area. Now, the nice thing is people ask, how long should you do this? Well, if you really go through this whole position, you can go for ages. So I would say easily 5 minutes. And most of my clients kind of get these big cow eyes, and then they realize when they do it on their own, they easily do it often for like 15. I'm gonna cheat. I told you I wanna always roll up, but I don't wanna get out of the camera. I'm gonna go down to kind of the end position so you know where to end, basically. Once you get to the tip of the lats and you start realizing you're almost on your ribs, that is where you're gonna realize that the tissue kind of ends for this exercise. However, you're gonna realize, oh yeah, right there is definitely a gnarly spot. And you also see now my neck is so much more laterally flexed that I really need a lot of range of motion. A lot of times my clients die at the beginning on this one and really get headaches because their neck can't open up. That is why I love this exercise, because it's focusing on so many more different things. I like to put my hand here just to kind of support some of the pressure against my body. If this ends up being too much, I've even had clients literally do this in their bed on the mattress, because then the foam roller pushes softer against them because it's pushing softer against the softer floor, which is the mattress. From here, again, you see me just moving from my hips again. I like to breathe, try to find my Zen place. And another little thing, I'm gonna put the muscle up here, is we also have the serratus anterior. That would be a little bit more here-ish, but a lot of times when we're doing this exercise, people think they're rolling over their ribs, and that's what's causing the pain, because bone is the most sensitive tissue in the body. However, what you will start to realize is as you get better at this, areas that really hurt before don't hurt anymore, which means it most likely was not your bone. It was actually either your lats or that serratus anterior, which again I'll show right here, because that bad boy often pulls on the ribs, pulls on the shoulder blade, and is kind of like a secret killer, if you will. So by doing these exercises, it's great because you don't have to be some anatomist, a physio, whatever. Your body understands what needs to be fixed. You just need to work on the general area, and your body, being a very clever machine, will do the rest. All right, exercise number 2 is we're gonna go over the chest now. Now I'm gonna show you in this position, maybe not where my mic is, how I wanna do it. So, I mean, you could literally just roll over your chest. Something is better than nothing. However, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line it more up with the middle of my breastbone, if you will. So I'm gonna work on the right side due to my microphone. And what we can do here is we can focus more on the chest. We can get a little more on the shoulder. I'm going to talk about changing my arm position and how that gets more in my bicep, more in my interior deltoid, more in my chest, more in my shoulder, because these are the muscles that are pull us forward. Our chest pulls us forward and our lats pull us forward. All right, so what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to use my right arm, as I said, because that's not where my microphone is. I'm going to get in this angle right here, because what we need is we need the knees as close to the foam roll as possible. You can get a bigger foam roll. The circumference of this one's a bit small, but I'm going to come down just like I showed you in that picture, and I'm going to start rolling across my chest. So now you can see my hand here, right? I like to keep my hand on the ground because we want it relaxed. If I'm holding it up, the muscles I'm working on are also contracted, and that's not what we want. So here, my palm is up, as you can see that, and I'm just kind of focusing on, I can turn towards you, I can turn away. Do I want it more in my shoulder? Do I want it more in my chest? And then I can turn my thumb down. So you see my thumb now is down. Rolling just like this, going over, and I can go deeper in my chest. I can go deeper in my bicep too if I want. And now my palm is down. And so from here, I go more in my chest, open it up just like this. I can go really deep in my bicep if I want. I can even climb a little bit more forward. Now, for some of you, it might be tough to be in this position. The farther your knees are away, it's not wrong, but then it's more of like a core exercise. So really getting your knees as close as possible is great, because then you can move easier in this position, right? And all you want to do is find your own trigger points. And from your trigger points, that's where you want to focus. So with your arm moving in different positions, you can do whatever you want. You can even create your own positions. The point is that you and your best friend might have the same issue, but your trigger points might be in different areas. And again, the chest and the lats, I show them again right here, that is what pulls us in this position. And from the typing, the eating, the driving, the everything we do is always in this position. That's what begins to pull us in this position, and especially when we're doing it all in a sitting, yeah, because that makes it even worse. So we need to release these muscles so we can stand up straighter, because while posture is important, if we have these thick rubber bands pulling us in this position, extending against it is just going to be painful. Or if we can just release the rubber bands, release the tension, our body's going to want to naturally be in the correct position. Therefore, you will do it without even thinking about it. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit that little bell so you get all the notifications when the new videos come out. All the links for my online programs and consultations with me are in the description below. I'm doing one video every single week. I'm trying to pump out 7 a week for the next month. So definitely subscribe, comment below, share this with any that has any questions. And if you need more help, all the ways to contact me are in the description in the bio.